Hi, thanks for joining me. This is Angie at Chicken Scratch, and this is the project we're making today. Okay, so this is box of the week number 5. Let me take the belly band off and open it up. So I have a little paper insert here on the inside just because the box is made out of Designer Series paper, so it's a little weak. So I just put that in there just to be a little sturdier. So it closes just like that. It's a pretty big box, but yeah, sometimes we need a larger box for a Halloween tree. Okay, so the paper you're going to need is Happy Haunting. It measures 8 by 11. You're going to need some Very Vanilla, large enough to stamp this 1.5 times because we need to cut out this 31. And then you need 2 strips of 1-inch Tangelo twist, and this is to make our belly band. This piece, the 8.5 or the 11 inches, is not large enough, so we're going to attach these. Okay, so I'm going to get out the Simply Scored scoring tool. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is score at 1.5 on all 4 sides. 1.5. And I'm using a different paper. The only reason is I want you to know that in your pack of paper there are numerous designs of Tangelo and vanilla, and then black and vanilla. So you can use, like, we could technically flip this over and we could use this side, but since I've already cut Tangelo, then that's what we're going to use. So use whatever pattern you have. Now I'm going to put it in landscape, and I'm going to score it at 4 3/4 and 6 1/4. So I'm just folding it on all the score lines, and technically we do want to use our bone folder for this box. Oh, and if you don't have a bone folder, if you have the one of the gift box, like the gift box punch board or the gift bag punch board or the envelope punch board, you can use the little stylus thingy that's in there. Okay, so now we're going to cut up to the score line, and whew, I'm having a hard time seeing those lines with this paper. I might be able to see it on this side better. Yep. Okay, so each one of those score lines we're going to cut up to the score line. Okay, so now we want to trim the tabs, not the sides of our box, just the tabs. So I'm going to cut a sliver, and then a little at the bottom. And I'm going to do this on all 6 tabs, okay? Turn it over and do the same thing over here. Oh, I forgot to trim that one. Okay. Now we're just going to put adhesive on the 6 tabs. I'm going to use my Fast Fuse today. This is a stronger adhesive when you're making boxes and bags. You can also use the tear and tape, which I love. Okay, so now I'm just going to build the walls. Let's just bring that up. Do the same thing on this side. Now I'm going to move down to this end. Do the same thing. And now this one, if you ever get confused about, well, which side do I put these tabs in? Because you can bring them in this way, and you can bring them in that way. Well, honestly, you put them in the side that looks the worst, like if you accidentally cut your paper too much or whatever. So see, I'm looking at this side, and it's like, this one looks pretty good. And if I look over here, I'm like, well, I can see the edge right there a little bit. So I'm going to put these tabs inside this one because that makes this the bottom of the box. And then that side is covered up, if that makes sense. Hopefully I explained that properly. So then this just folds right over, and there you have it. See, you can really tell that this edge is cleaner than the other one. I love it. Okay, so now we're going to make our belly band. And here's what we're going to do. We're going to position it right on top of our 11 by 1 piece of cardstock. And I'm going to bring up the edge just like that. Fold it over. Same thing on the right side. Doing it this way does take a little bit longer, but it also gives you your exact measurements, whereas if we did it the other way, it wouldn't measure out the right way. You'd be off a 1/16 of an inch or an 1/8 of an inch. So I just like doing it the manual way. Okay, one more. This really is easy. It goes by really quick. Last one. Okay, so now we got this other little piece, and I cut it longer than I needed. It's 8.5 by 1, where this was 11 by 1. So all I'm going to do is just take my glue dots and attach it right here to this one. Just overlap it a little. And then I'm going to bring this over, eyeball it, and say, okay, that's long enough right there. And because we're using this big old image here, it covers it up. So you couldn't really do this if your image wasn't going to cover most of the box. Or you could, but it would show. So see, there it is. Not the prettiest, but it works because we're covering it up. Okay, so now let's stamp. I can't remember if I said Witch's Night stamp set. Maybe I did. Very vanilla, Tangelo twist. And as I'm looking at the box, I'm thinking, I might have used pumpkin pie on that original one. It doesn't look like it's Tangelo. And I do want my Stampin' Mat for this. In fact, I'm going to turn it this way. Okay, I think I've inked it well. It's hard to tell. Voila. I love it. Okay, now we're just going to ink up the 31 and stamp that. I'm going to cut this. Now you could do this in a different color. When I first made this box, the spiderweb doilies were on back order, so I chose to go a different route, but you could put the spiderweb doilies on here and you could make this, you could use your black a little bit more. I was going for monochromatic that day. Now we're going to cut out this one using the Lots of Label framelits. It has turned into one of my favorites during the Halloween season. Of course, it's not Halloween season technically, but it is to me. Okay, so there's the image, and we're actually taking the largest one, okay? That's the one that works for this image. I'm going to slide it through. Okay, here's our image. Isn't it awesome? Okay, so I will admit, I went a little overkill on the rhinestones, but sometimes you can do that on a project. So I did add 3, 6, 9, 12 rhinestones. You don't have to. You can just add one if you want, or none technically. I just thought it would be fun to bling it up. So I'm just going to add the 31 right there on top. Now to add this to the box, you actually want to put your dimensionals on the belly band, because if you were to put them back here, you might miss the belly band, so it's better to just go ahead and put the dimensionals on the belly band. That way it your image will slide off when the belly band is removed. See? It's awesome. Now we'll add the rhinestones. Okay, I got myself a fresh pack of rhinestones. We've been working on my Founder Circle swaps, and yeah, I had to open a new pack. 3 new packs, in fact. Okay, so 3 here. Now you could make this box out of solid cardstock and just decorate it with some Designer Series paper. I was going a different route when I designed this box. I'll let you in on that little secret a little bit later, probably next month. So I switched lanes and now it's Box of the Week. Okay, so there you have it. Have a great day. See you later. Bye. Okay, so there's that. And then, uh-oh. Wait, did I mess that up? I did.